How about Star Wars?
That's Blood Axe.
Let's get into some rumors. All right, so Star Wars, George Lucas involved with new trilogy rumor. This came from what, Doomcock, I think.
Most recently from Doomcock.
Yeah, most recently from Doomcock. Yeah, well, it's been a rumor that's been going on over the past year, but it has resurfaced, and probably right now with all the changes going on with Disney and the helm. I mean, if it was going to happen, this is probably in my opinion, the most likely. I'm going to toss it over to Blood Axe though, because he is our Star Wars guy. But it definitely, to me, it's one of those rumors. Definitely is a grain of salt rumor because it's been thrown around for so long. But could happen. What do you think, Blood Axe?
I've heard all kind of different stories. I first heard it from Mike Zero, who's another YouTuber, and he doesn't have the same win percentage, we'll call it, that Doomcock has. Doomcock has been wrong, but he's been more often right than wrong. And he even admitted such on a recent video where sometimes he gets catfished with a new source that tries to misdirect him. And that's where he gets his ratings from. If you ever actually listened to the video that we're discussing, is he says, I take with a grain of salt versus several grains of salt to a whole bunch of salt. So that will depend upon how much he trusts the source. Sometimes, and this is kind of one of those where it's a newer source, so he's not as confident in the rumor. But this is the second person I've heard speak about it. The first one, like I said, was Mike Zero last year. And I've heard a couple different things. One is George Lucas taking over the current 3 sequel trilogy films and making the Lucas cut of them, including a 4-hour Rise of Skywalker. That is rumored to come out in 2024. I've also heard George Lucas taking his original treatments and making a new sequel trilogy entirely independent of the current sequel trilogy using the Veil of the Force. So it could go either way. Now, as far as a Star Wars fan, this would be kind of like, a wet dream for me because he is the knowledge master of the entire franchise. He's the creator. So, I mean, it all comes back to his original vision. If I don't know if y'all read the article from J.J. Abrams earlier this week, where he admitted the things that I've been saying for years is there was no plan. There was no A to B to C. It was pass the baton to the next director situation, which is why it was such a disaster to begin with. So we have that admitted by the director of the 7th and 9th film. So with George Lucas in charge, yes, he doesn't have everything mapped out, but he goes, okay, we're accomplishing this in this film, this in that film, and this in the third film, and this is how we're going to tie it all up together. And then we'll figure it out along the way, but at least he has an end goal. And that's not something that we've had with Star Wars until we had Jon Favreau working on The Mandalorian. So with him working with Favreau on, well, I don't even working with him. He's been on set with Favreau. We've seen it. We have pictures of it with him and Filoni all sitting together in the director's chairs. So they've been collaborating with him coming on board, even if it's just to direct an episode of a Disney Plus property. I'm good with that. But if he wants to take on the big chair and do 3 films or even tweak the films we got, it can only make it better, in my opinion, because it's already a trash fire as it is. And so anyway, is it possible? Yeah. Is it probable? Not when Kathleen Kennedy's there, because she promised to take care of his baby, and she basically put lighter fluid on it and set it ablaze and laughed at him. So I am optimistically hopeful, but I'm not gonna bet my life savings on it happening now.
Yeah. I mean, part of the rumors is that Kathleen Kennedy is also finally on her way out, which we all hope is the case. And again, I'm not going to be spiteful here. My hope is that she moves on to projects that are suited to what she's trying to accomplish and that she's successful. Because the thing is, everybody can have what they want. That's the biggest problem with all this, is that people seem to think they got to take from you to have what they want, and they don't. Like, she can go make her, hopefully she'll go out there and she'll make her incredible series that just changes the face of media and leaves her legacy. But she didn't have to try to do it by crapping on someone else's. And hopefully this has taught her that lesson so that she can actually do what she's good at and maybe accomplish something, you know, and then nobody has to walk away with this bitter rivalry and taste in their mouth. But we'll see. I mean, I hope to see Star Wars fixed in my lifetime. And I do have to say that without a doubt, I cannot simply not admit that it will not happen as long as she is involved. She has to go for that to happen. As far as Indiana Jones, I'm done with that franchise after Crystal Skull, so she can piss all over that she wants. Crystal Skull ruined the Indiana Jones arc for me. There's nothing I believe she could possibly do. She could literally cast just Brie Larson as Indiana Jones, and I wouldn't care at this point. I'm done with that series after Crystal Skull. So I'm actually like going, hey, you have fun. I hope she makes it a hot, unique mess. There's nothing she can do that will bother me.
I still think Crystal Skull got a bit of a bad rap. I don't think it was nearly as bad as some people made it out to be. Was it bad? Yes. Did they break a lot of the canon? Yes. But
yeah, stop there. There you go. You're done. Was it bad? And did they break the canon?
And that's the problem with it. You go from religion, now it's aliens. No, Indiana Jones is all about religious artifacts. And if it was Mayan religious artifacts or crystal skulls, I'm good with it. But the moment that flying saucer, spoiler alert, came out from underneath the ground, you lost me. You completely lost me. Interesting for a completely different franchise.
You can't say that's worse than what they did to Star Wars.
I almost agree.
Actually, I think it's worse because Star Wars didn't break its canon. It just did a terrible sequel. They didn't go back. Well, okay, the later nonsense. But in the 3 movies, they didn't go back and just retcon everything. They retconned one fact, the Emperor and the clones. Which, to be honest, that kind of always was floating around that the Emperor had clones.
More than that, but
I will counter your statement by this. Did they make Indiana Jones look like an incompetent fool?
Yes.
How?
No.
He was still a badass.
Yeah.
He was still doing all kinds of adventurous tricks and stuff. But they made Luke Skywalker a complete shell of himself, took a childhood hero of mine, and completely shit on him. They didn't shit on Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones was older, but he still, I mean, the best part of the movie was the whole nuclear blast getting in the refrigerator. That was would never work. But, I mean, he still was competent.
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker was not. And that's my argument. What they did with Star Wars was worse than Indiana Jones.
Refrigerator scene was good enough that they even mentioned it in Outriders. Come on. Everybody knew what they were talking about in Outriders.
Okay.
When they were like, is there a fridge nearby?
I guess I'm so bitter because I'm a DM. I run tabletop RPGs, and the world building destruction just obliterated it. Because my problem is that I still can follow stories in the Star Wars universe, though. Like, I could watch The Mandalorian and just be like, okay, that's stupid crapped up over there. But Indiana Jones doesn't make sense anymore. Like, it's like, wait a minute. Like, the whole aliens created humans and all that. Then you go, what the heck was the Ark? What was the Holy Grail? What was all of that then? Like, it literally, you can't really, that's why I'm done with it, because there's no more.
I think you're reading a lot into it.
No, they did that, man. I'll have to go back and pull it up. Go ahead.
No, Q has a point. Q has a point, because if it was aliens the whole time, how could the Ark have power? How could the Holy Grail have power? How could I can't remember the Kali. How could those stones have any kind of power whatsoever if it was aliens? So are those alien artifacts?
I don't think it was necessarily aliens the whole time.
No,
just because aliens existed and there was aliens involved doesn't necessarily mean
they pull the origin of human civilization coming from aliens. I remember that because it was the most devastating part of the movie for me.
I may have just been having fun with the movie then. I don't know why, because I thought it was funny.
Well, no, if you missed that, I
enjoyed
understand it. It didn't ruin the entire line where you go, this doesn't even make sense anymore.
Because I was annoyed because people were talking about how bad it was because it was cheesy and this and that, and I was like, it's Indiana Jones.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that. It was the mythos breaking.
Fun little quips. You're supposed to have little chases and stuff and gags.
And it had all that.
And Nazis. There's always Nazis going. There's Nazis trying to get magic artifacts.
But anyway, we've gotten off topic. Let's get a random encounter in. How about you give us a roll, Blood Axe?
My D20s are right here, I believe. All right.
Well, we can all at least agree she can have it. That's all. You can't say I'm wrong there. She can have it.
Number 7.
Number 7. Food time. Again. Again. Have you ever tried an Impossible Burger? No.
Me neither. Would you?
What is an Impossible Burger?
It's fake meat.
It's a fruit burger, basically.
It's fake meat.
Oh, I remember them advertising.
Burger King does.
Yeah. No, I don't eat Burger King ever. So, I stopped. Well, let me correct that. I no longer. I stopped about 12 years ago eating fast food. And I have been very adamant about not doing it. And I don't think I've had a, burger from a fast food place. The lowest I've gone is Five Guys. I don't do Burger King, Wendy's, or McDonald's at all because I want to live a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I swore off of that.
All right,
but I'm definitely not going to try, if you tell me it's not a real burger, that's my fault. Shame on me.
Give us one more, Blood Axe. Let's do one more.
8.
Movie time. Should Microsoft add movies to its Game Pass service? Ooh.
No.
I
don't want the price to go up. It's already a little pricey, even though I get a lot of value. I mean, I love the Game Pass, but they'd have to raise the price. And if they raise the price, they'd start touching on me starting to question if it's worth the monthly, even with all the value it has.
I mean, if they did it as every once in a while they throw a movie in there that fits the game atmosphere, I could see it, but I wouldn't want it to turn into a service like Netflix or something like that, I mean, they already do sort of the perks stuff that gets you into several things. Every once in a while, you could throw a movie in that perks section if you wanted to, but I wouldn't go full out.
The likelihood they'd even pick something I want to watch is so rare, and then I'm like,
I mean, dude, have you looked at the perks? There's nothing on there I want either.
Yeah,
so
I keep forgetting about them. But I mean, yeah, it's
that's what I'm saying. You want to throw a movie on there every once in a while, it may be something.
But where would the
different
money come from? That's what I'm worried about. Is I think they'd want to raise the price. Now, if they don't want to raise the price, they can give me all the free crap they want. I'll take it.
Once in a while. I mean, it'd be no different than a perk. All of that has some kind of value behind it.
It has to be U-Bowl. I want nothing but U-Bowl movies.
But yeah, no. I mean, yeah, you definitely don't want it to affect the price, but the affecting the price wasn't mentioned in the question. I mean,
true. Okay. Well, I mean, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. I probably wouldn't partake at all, but I wouldn't have a problem with it. I'm very picky about what I watch. I mean, I watch mostly anime. So unless they were going to do anime, I don't think I'd really care.
Yeah. My thing is I like them dishing out games. I don't want them to get too over exhausted in the movies or TVs. And that's why I say it'd be cool to see one every once in a while in the perks, when a cool movie comes out that maybe is game related.
Screwed up because now that you said that, I had to say no because every one of those movies I think could have been another game that they could have got. Now that you screwed it up, because now I'm thinking, or they could have got one more game. Am I wrong though? Every one of those movies could have been a game that they acquired for my Game Pass. What you got to say?
Every one of those perks could be.
Yes.
Every one of those crappy.
Screw the perks too.
Every one of those crappy games could be a good game. I mean, you can throw out ifs and buts all you want.
Well, you can't say what's crappy or not easily. Some people like those games. I'm not going to try to say only games I want. I'm not that selfish. Mm-hmm. But if I had to choose between a movie or another game, even if it's not a game I want to play, I just want Game Pass to have a lot of games.
I can see that.
Because the more games,
Guys,
the more customers, the
It
more
does.
games. It's a circle.
actually, they just added Maneater, which I have a review up on YouTube
How much is
now.
that? How much
I've
is that?
got 100% of the achievements in 15 hours.
Yeah, I'm glad to see
Sort
it
of.
on there. I mean, I paid money to play it on the PlayStation.
I'm sorry.
That I can no longer use without dropping another like $100
On controllers.
on controllers.
Yet I was able to get a controller with a rechargeable battery and a cord for like $30 or something.
I mean, I can get third-party controllers if I wanted to, but I've always hated third-party controllers. I always go for the brand controllers.
Oh,
you go.
absolutely.
But yeah,
but,
I love.
But now I'm playing Mech Warrior Mercenaries 5, which, oh my God, I've had a blast playing that game.
I love
just some
it when we-
streaming, I think it was yesterday, but I'm debating adding on some gameplay videos on the YouTube at some point.
Well, we'll move on. I was just gonna say, like, I agree with you. Just backing down on, just double down on the. I love little short games. Sometimes it's fun to get the games that you can just jump on and just go, hey, my game
Oh,
pass. kill some
Maneater
time.
Maneater was a fun game. It was a short game, but it was a fun game, and I thought it was worth. Yeah, I was happy to see it on there because I figured some people would get enjoyment out of it. I got enjoyment out of it. So,
And honestly, I don't think it would work if it was longer. I think it's just about as long as it can stand to be. Because I watched a full playthrough of Maneater. Watched Monto and some people play it. And if it was any longer, I wouldn't have been able to.
The only thing I thought it was missing is it could have had a little more evolutions.
Yeah,
like the evolutions were a little thin.
They were supposed to add them. I always thought they were going to come back. I kept telling them, don't worry, man. After he bought it, I'd tell him, don't worry. They're going to bring out more evolutions. And then finally, I just shut up because I realized it wasn't happening. I was just like, hey, man, you ought to try Borderlands.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they do, but I think new stories. Here's my question: since they decided they're going to try to bring in Mara Jade, but they already made it clear she's not with Luke, my theory is Mara Jade gonna be a lesbian?